The victim, Dr. Watson, was shot by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Great. Not quite there yet. The defendant is the one and only suspect. Darn it. This is absurd. We've come so far. And now she's going to get away like this? All we can do is watch as she destroys evidence for her own gain. Naruhodo. Asugi. I've helped you come this far, but now the trial is in your hands. Huh? Why me? We have lost our decisive evidence. Right now, if there are any final clues, they can only be within your mind. Within my mind? Remember, you said you at least had confidence in your own observational skills. But of course, we can just forget that I managed to overlook that flashy Western diva. Think back to the moment of the crime. Remember what you saw, what you felt, even the colours and the smells. What I saw and what I felt. Even the colours? Huh? There's blood. There be blood on that there plate. I wonder, does the answer really lie dormant within my chromatic memories? A clue that points toward the culprit who shot Dr. Watson. Oh shit, I almost did does not exist. Woo! There does exist. Asugi. I think I may have found it. The clue that lies dormant within my memories. Truly, you never cease to amaze. Take that clue and shove it in their faces. Hey! Right, I'll do just that. There's one strange feeling that lies dormant within my memories. Could that be the key that opens the door to the truth? The clue that reveals the true culprit is obviously the blood. Or ketchup. Could be ketchup. It's most definitely blood, but it could be ketchup. Detective Hosonaga, I've got a question for you. Yes? How can I help you? It looks like he's still in shock from that glass bottle shattering. As I recall, you claimed that you always strive for perfection, right? Exactly. Then, Detective, is it safe to assume that you confiscated everything from the scene? Including, perhaps, the beefsteak plate that was left on the victim's table? Hold on. What are you... Oh. What manner of joke is this? It's no joke. This is all about my memories. What of your memories? At the time, I was an eyewitness too. I saw what was shown in this photograph of the scene. I'll notice the wooden slab being used to carry the beefsteak. I saw blood on it. What? So? I'm sure it splattered onto it after you shot the doctor. The bullet didn't pass through. Wrong, try again. Take a closer look at how everything and everyone is arranged in the photo. The beefsteak plate is more or less located directly behind the victim. If I shot the doctor from the front, then it would be impossible for the blood to splash onto the plate behind him. I see. If there are bloodstains on the plate, then that would mean the person who shot the victim would be the one sitting on the other side of the table. That would be none other than Giselle Brett. I thought that said shit. What? The audacity of such a ridiculous claim is galling. Your own memories? Do you really expect us to believe a murderous tales? Wait, who was that? Oh, was that Detective? Oh, it was. Ooh, she's got a different pose. Hi, Satoru Hosonaga. I believe that I became a detective for the sake of this very moment. Detective Hosonaga? Then you mean... Of course, I did indeed bring it with me. All in the name of honest crime scene preservation. Call me a crime scene thief if you must. I even took the half-eaten meat. Ew. What? This lady's meal. Even the soldier's meal. I confiscated it all indiscriminately in the name of justice. Oh, what a crazy bastard. Present it for inspection right away. We have to see if Giselle's plate has blood on it. Oh my god. Too good. Detective. I order you to present the beefsteak that was at the victim's table on the day of the incident. Yes, sir. Oh my god. I can't believe how long this case is. For a tutorial, it's like nearly 4 hours. I apologise for the delay. This is the beefsteak in question. A 3-day-old beefsteak. Gross. So what about the blood? Did you find any? Impossible. It can't be there. Quickly now, present it to the court. Show us all the blood. Very well. Look to your heart's content. Let me guess, there's none? Oh. Where's the blood? I don't see any. No. No. Why? 5 times. I know I saw it. I swear it was there. The plate of beefsteak was right behind the doctor. And there was blood on it. You ought to see the look on your face, little boy. Everyone in the civilized world knows that the Japanese can't be trusted. Wow, rude. I couldn't agree more, you damn Japanese. What? You're insulting yourself. The court has now reached a conclusion, once and for all. But of course, as for this pitiful mock trial, let's just forget this ever happened, shall we? We're not done yet. Look at it all you want, but you'll never find any blood on this sorry piece of meat. That looks different. Like, that looks like a different plate entirely. Because the meat looks a lot less. In that photograph, there was a lot of meat. It's like a full thing. That's like half of the not cutlet. That's like half of the beefsteak that's been eaten. Look at it with your sorry eyes. Beefsteak plate. Lunch Giselle is said to have ordered, seized from the table directly following the incident. Was the blood I saw only an illusion? This time it's certain. We've lost. Naruhodo? The gavel still hasn't swung on your fate. Huh? I believe in yourself. Keep looking forward until the bitter end. Believe in myself. There's only one thing left to do. I need to look it over one more time. No issues were found with the evidence requested by the defense. Therefore, the inspection of all evidence in question ends here. Do you have any objections, attorney? The bloodstain was supposed to be the finishing blow. Are there any more clues I can find in the doctor's beefsteak? There are some more clues. Your Honor, please wait. This beefsteak right here still holds a shocking truth within it. The only shocking thing here is your abnormal obsession with that beefsteak. Your Honor, I'm sure you're aware, but we can talk about boring little details all day, but it'll never amount to anything. We've come this far, it's only fair to inspect every piece of evidence, fully. This is the decision held by the Supreme Court. My sincerest apologies, my lady. I thought we were allies. Are you sure that was the right thing to say? Your Honor. The court orders the defense to explain further. Oh, there we go. Point out the lead you... Wait, you say was hidden in the beefsteak dish on the victim's table. Okay. No, I want to present, like, the right side of the beef. Like, here. Lift it up. Maybe. I won't accept such an ambiguous answer at this point of the trial. Oh. No! It was relevant to the case you're making. What? The answer is right there in front of me. It's probably because I have to do the right side of the steak. Yeah, it's probably from the right of the steak. Yeah, why does that highlight? Examine. Oh! That's why. I didn't examine it. Shit. No fucking wonder. What? What is that? This is a Koban. Judging by the seal, I'd say it's from the Hui era. No, that's not the point. Why was there a Koban sitting under this beefsteak? Hold on a second. Did you say Hui era? That's right. Or Hoi era, I don't know how you say it. It's covered in meat sauce, but that wouldn't decrease its value. A Koban from the Hui era? Howie? Oh, who cares. Where have I heard that before? I've heard of pearls before swine, but gold before bovine would be a first. I really doubt you'll ever hear that again. Honestly, it's incredible that we even found this. Now I can present the fucking Koban. Son of a bitch. Oh, hello. This is... Koban? Koban? What in the world is that? This is a Hui era Koban. Koban. Whatever. Giselle, this is allegedly the beefsteak you were eating before you murdered John Watson. Could you explain why something like this was hidden under the meat? Ooh. What are you talking about? As if I would know. I've never seen that before. Don't bring me into your Japanese nonsense. Who cares about that? It's just a Koban under the meat. I'm sure it wound up there by coincidence due to to some chef's carelessness. Doubtful. I think that's not the correct beefsteak. What kind of kitchen randomly gets something like this mixed in with their food? When we happened to turn up the steak, there was a Hui era Koban wedged underneath. If this really has no relation to the incident, then I will gladly quit the exchange program. He has a point. Excuse me, Your Honor. What is it, attorney? When we turned over the meat, we found a Koban under it. If this really has nothing to do with the incident, then I will gladly step down as an attorney. No one asked you to be one in the first place. If you want to stop, then go right ahead. The only thing here that has nothing to do with the incident is you, little boy. Then why am I on trial? In any case, we must find the owner of this Koban and listen to what he has to say. The owner of this Koban? Yeah, now that I think about it, there's only one man it could belong to. The owner of the Koban hidden underneath the beefsteak is none other than... There he is. How old is she? 24. And she is 16. I never actually read all the profiles. Head waiter at the Western-style restaurant La Quintos was waiting tables at the crime scene on the day of the incident. So Uzu Kamaru Taizo, a soldier of the Imperial Army, witnessed the incident. Sanmon Sonohigarashi, owner of the Sonohigarashi's Hall of Discard, lost a golden coin from the Hui era during the incident. Giselle Brett, exchange student from the British Empire, enrolled in Yume University's medical program, studies in the victim's research lab. Susato Mikatoba, the legal assistant of my lawyer, Kazuma Asugi. There we go. Boom, it's his. He's 67. Damn. That would be... the owner of the Hall of Discard antique shop, Sanmon Sonohigarashi. Sono-hi? How typical of the Japanese to have such bizarre names. As I recall, that's the name of the old man who testified alongside the soldier earlier. Yes, Your Honor. Indeed, he mentioned a Koban earlier. He testified that, when the crime occurred, it disappeared. I crept under the table, and heard a sharp gunshot shortly thereafter. Crept under the table? What were you doing down there? Searching for a lost item. A Koban. A pressure coin from the Hui era. A Hui era Koban. Then this must be it. That must be his. Wait. Why would a Koban from an antique shop end up hidden underneath the beefsteak on the victim's dining table? I think we should hear the reason for that from the owner of the Koban himself. Bailiff, have the two witnesses from earlier be brought back here as soon as possible. Find them immediately. Sheesh. Oh, like this just doesn't end. Who would have thought those two would come back up at this point? In any case, call it a hunch, but I'm almost certain. If I can explain why this Koban was under the beefsteak, I have no doubt that this will lead the way to the truth behind this incident. I hope it happens soon, my fucking throat hurts. Oh my god, there's all 4 of them. Oh my god, look at them all. Queuing up. Brum, brum. What business do you have with me now? It is time for me, Uzukumaru, to feed my son, Kuromaru, his meal. When my boy Kuromaru gets hungry, he's more ferocious than a street mutt. When we treated as mere dogs of the police, were revealed to have borne false witness. We were branded as discard ourselves, before being banished from these halls of judgment. Heretofore have I decided, thus shall I carry on into my twilight, never more to utter a word. The fuck? Please confirm one thing for us, owner of the Hall of Discard. Have you seen this Koban before? Oh! Oh god, it landed in his foot! Holy shit. That indeed is. Truly that is indeed. No doubt that is indeed truly. The glimmering, glowing Hui relic that I lost on that abominable day. What? I knew it. You, young one, would you enlighten this senile old fool? Who knows not how much time he has yet left? Where did my fallen rare treasure disappear to? I don't know if fallen is the right term for it, but... Your Koban was wedged between a spicy piece of meat and an iron plate. What? It was between meat and an iron plate, you say? Needless to say, it's impossible for a coin to fall into such a place. In other words, someone was hiding it there. My Koban was hidden between a piece of meat and an iron plate. Who was it? Who committed this atrocious act? I think it's fairly obvious. Are we not going to tell him? With all due respect, may I say something? Detective Hasanagi. You may, Detective. As you all know, I infiltrated the restaurant as a waiter in order to secretly investigate a series of incidents. Oh? Oh yes, you did mention an undercover investigation. La Cuentos is a high-class restaurant where foreigners and wealthy customers gather. Recently, a certain individual started stealing from customers using a similar tactic. Oh. Indeed, that's what was reported to the Imperial Police headquarters. The world is full of despicable cowards, to be sure. Many of the victims are foreigners, thus we were ordered to resolve the matter post-haste. Hey, X-Car. How's it going? So, the reason you infiltrated the restaurant? Yes, I disguised myself as a waiter to catch this detestable, atrocious individual red-handed. It's plausible that this Koban was another one of the thief's targets. There's a great thief at La Cuentos. We were unaware of this. Newer? Not really. It's, I think it came out in 2017. Or 2015, I can't remember. It's one that never got a Western release. This is a fan translation. It's called The Great Ace Attorney, The Adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And it's very good. I suppose this restaurant has already seen enough crime. Whether they can be called a great thief is up for debate, but... the identity of the individual who hit the Koban is obvious. What? Really? Alright, defense. Let's hear it then. The detestable thief that stole this old man's Koban and hid it underneath the beefsteak is... Taizo Uzukumaru. Of course. It couldn't be anyone but you. Sergeant Uzukumaru. You little... delinquent. I've heard enough. Delinquent? Koban thief? Great thief of La Cuentos? You're really going to indict... my son, Kuromaru? He's the culprit? How could you pin your own crimes on an innocent little baby? That's awful. You're the most delinquent one in this court, Sergeant Uzukumaru. Oh, you detestable man. How could you? Oh god. What is happening? Oh god! Oh. What the hell? Yeah. Imperial Army, Sergeant. Or Sergeant Uzukumaru, reporting for duty. Okay! Glad that's cleared up. He kind of has that villain mustache. Do you even know? Do you even know how shockingly little the Empire pays its soldiers to protect our lands? Indeed, the temporary tax increases from our last war have yet to be repealed. I'm told that lower-ranking soldiers are living especially destitute lives. All I wanted was to be able to give Kuromaru warm food. So you decided to start stealing from others. Laquentos caters to the wealthy. Once every 3 days, I visit the restaurant to hunt for my prey. All the while, biting off chunks of that delectable beefsteak. Sure enough, he doesn't look like someone who could use a knife and fork. So you did steal Sono Higarashi's Koban? I did. Stealing from him was easier than taking candy from a baby. I deposited the coin in my pocket. Quite the great thief indeed. I moved to escape, leaving behind my half-eaten beefsteak. Suddenly, the gunshot. A murder unfolded before you. If someone happened to check my pockets, my reputation would be ruined. Oh, so he stuck it under a beefsteak. Horrified by the very idea, I hid the Koban. I shoved it under the beefsteak, hoping that I might find it again someday. Okay. Lots of dots. God, look at all the people! This is like the most people you ever have in a courtroom. It's great. This is ridiculous. Is this Giselle? Yep. I grow incredibly weary of being forced to bear witness to such a worthless farce of a trial. Giselle. Oh, how improper of us. This time I swear to end this senseless bore of a trial. Is she gonna tell him to shut up? Oh, nice. All I ask is that you go home with a smile on your face, my lady. Indeed. This child-rearing soldier was the one who stole Sono Higarashi's Koban. But I can't say with confidence that this theft is related to the murder. Exactly. He switched the plates. What kind of barbarian would hide a coin under meat? Only the Japanese, I suppose. Barbarian? Even worse, he gnawed at it without using so much as a knife and fork. Even the barbarians are more civilized than you lot. Britons spit on that kind of conduct. Now that all doubts have been cleared from that testimony, the court will allow the witnesses to leave. You are free to return, my lady. Then I shall be taking my leave. I bid you all farewell. Ciao. What's wrong, Naruhodo? This is no time to be daydreaming. Well, something about Giselle's parting words just bothered me is all. I can't get my mind off of it. It's like when I found the contradiction in her testimony earlier. Then you have to speak. Don't overthink it. Don't even think about it at all. Huh? You can think after you talk. Now object before the trial ends. Okay. Mata! Giselle, wait. Is there still something you need? This is my last question, Giselle. I mean it. I just need you to explain one thing for me. There was a contradiction in your parting words. I need you to explain that. Come again? What contradiction? What are you trying to pull? What do you mean, Naruhodo? Did you notice something about her parting words? I didn't even realise what she said. What kind of barbarian would hide a coin under meat? Only the Japanese, I suppose. Even worse, he gnawed at it without using so much as a knife and fork. Even the barbarians are more civilized than you lot. Britain spit on that kind of conduct. Yeah. I don't know what's suspicious about that. The fact you knife and fork? I knew it. There's definitely a decisive contradiction in there. Is there? Very well, attorney. I order you to present your evidence. Show us the evidence that proves there is a contradiction in Miss Jezzael Brett's statement. Oh, is it the fact that this hasn't been cut with a knife and fork? I don't know. And this is the beefsteak that Miss Brett was eating before the crime, correct? No. To be more precise, this is the beefsteak on the victim's table at the time of the incident. There we go. Okay, I'm on the right track. Good. What does it matter? They both mean the same thing. No, they don't. Only one of them has blood on it. If you look closely, you might notice something unusual about this beefsteak. What? What's unusual about it? That would be the way the meat was cut, of course. Have you caught on yet, Jezzael? Explain yourself. Now, Jezzael made a strange claim before. She said that she would never bite into a beefsteak without using a knife and fork. Well, of course, she is a lady after all. Then look at the way the meat was cut. As you can see, these patterns are animalistic bite marks. Ah. There we go. Looks like she's seen her mistake, too. If the witness had elegantly eaten her meal with a knife and fork, then the beefsteak wouldn't have crude bite marks like this. Which means it's not her beefsteak. But regardless of how she ate it, what are you getting at? Maybe my lady was so famished that she couldn't help but chomp down. Haha. Oh, what is the matter, my lady? I really must excuse myself. Oh, she's realised. We're getting close. Now, I'll be late for my afternoon tea date with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Oh, but I promise you, this trial will be over very soon. Leave it to me, Prosecutor Ouchie, and I will render this youngster speechless. That makes me jump. Every time. Every time she yells, shut up, I jump. Because it's so sudden. It's always in the middle of talking, too. Shut your mouth, four-eyed samurai scum. Jesus. Yes, ma'am. Whoa, she's really losing her composure now. It looks like she's finally starting to understand. She knows what the bite marks imply. What? Naruhodo? Naruhodo? I'm gonna say his name in so many different ways. Can't help it. This time the puzzle's really coming together. First, she claims to use a knife and fork. Oh. Wait. Oh yeah, I've just realised, they say fork and knife. It's knife and fork. That's just weird. Whatever. A fork and knife, but her steak is covered in bite marks. Then, the bloodstain I remembered somehow disappeared. And now, I have evidence that can prove who the culprit is. The one who really shot Dr. Watson. Wait. Wait, really? Indeed, those bite marks may be unusual. But I fail to see what this clears up. Why, it clears up everything, of course. Everything? I'd wager that these disgusting bite marks are connected to a decisive piece of evidence. The evidence that will finally prove who really shot Dr. Watson. I'm fed up listening to you prattle on. What decisive evidence could you possibly have? It doesn't exist. It is so like you Japanese to try a cheap bluff like this. What makes you so sure about that? Simple. Had such a thing existed, it would have been presented long ago. Yes, you're right that it hasn't been presented yet. What? But even if it hasn't been presented, that evidence still exists. That's absurd. Who keeps evidence hidden this far into the trial?